Here are 7 mistakes homeschool moms must avoid. Now, a full disclaimer, I'm not a mom. Shocker, right? So this advice is mostly coming from what my mom did. And be sure to stick to the end of this video, where I will cover the biggest mistake homeschool moms can ever make when they're homeschooling. The first mistake is trying to replicate public school. A lot of parents pull their kids out of the school system, but they still keep the same mindset. Things like rigid curriculums and worksheets. It's basically doing public school at home. For a homeschool mom, now's your chance to customize your own type of curriculum and ways of learning for your child, without a system putting them in a box. The second mistake is not teaching real-world skills. Now, math and language arts and history, they matter a lot. But so does learning how to budget, communicate effectively, and having the self-discipline to think for yourself. Too many homeschool moms focus on academics and forget that they have the time to teach life skills to their kids. In my homeschooling years, my mom taught me valuable skills for business, which would have been much harder if I was still in public school. So make sure you use this time to teach them the necessary skills they will use in the future. The third mistake homeschool moms make is not giving enough time for socialization. Homeschooling does not mean isolation, but it can become that if you're not intentional about putting your kid in social environments. And social skills don't just come from being around kids the same age like they do in public school. They come from learning how to interact with kids of all ages, even adults, from many different types of environments. This is where homeschooling can come into play. Because you have more available time on your hands during homeschool kids get to travel and meet many different types of people, which gives them an advantage in social interaction. But it's about being intentional of putting them in those environments, like co-ops, field trips, youth groups, sports. For me, it was Toastmasters, hiking with friends. The world is your classroom when you're homeschooling. The fourth mistake is not challenging your child. Some moms make homeschooling too comfortable. The goal is to stretch your child out of their comfort zone, because that's when they'll grow. Learning requires friction, so make sure to set higher goals for your kids. What my mom does is that she writes out sprints that we must complete by the end of the week. These sprints are like sheets that have specific daily goals that must be completed. And each sprint is more challenging than the one before, which is a good thing because it stretches us and forces us out of our comfort zone. I was able to even start this YouTube channel, something I would have never thought about doing years ago. But since my mom set the goal and she knew it would challenge us, that's why we're on YouTube today. So make sure to challenge your kids during homeschool so they can push beyond their limits. The fifth mistake homeschool moms make is doing homeschooling alone. Homeschooling can lead to burnout if you try to do everything by yourself. There are times the dad can join in and help with homeschool, and even vice versa if it's the dad that's doing most of the homeschool work. There are also online classes to educate your child, co-op groups, and homeschool programs. YouTube's also a growing platform for education, so that you don't have to do all the teaching by yourself. Let others help your child grow in the areas where you might not be an expert in, which will save you from a lot of stress and burnout. The sixth mistake is treating every child the same. This goes for moms with multiple kids. I'm sure that every one of your children learns differently. What worked for your oldest may not work for your youngest. For me, as the oldest child of my family, I work better when I have deadlines, sprints, when I have a goal that I have to achieve by the end of the day, which helps me focus on my work more and get it done. But for my younger sibling, she might need more guidance and hands-on direction, which is understandable because she's younger. But the key thing is understanding that difference. Remember, you're homeschooling. This isn't like public school anymore, where every child has to learn the exact same in a classroom. So discover what each of your children learn best from. This will make your homeschooling more effective, because you'll cater to each of your child's needs, not just one. And the final, most important mistake homeschool moms make is forgetting your why. Remember, there's a reason you pulled your kid out of public school. Whether that was bullying, more connection and bond, self-directed learning, whatever it was, you have to remember that why every single day. Because when things get stressful, it's easy to forget. During homeschooling, my mom had doubts of whether we would be left behind. But then she remembered why she decided to homeschool in the first place. It was to teach us emotional intelligence. When she was growing her business and navigating adulthood, there were things that she had to learn that public school didn't teach her, and she wanted to pass that on onto us, teaching us how to think for ourselves, how to handle failure, how to keep growing even in the face of fear and setbacks. That was her why, and it further motivated her to start teaching us these things during homeschool. You will have your own why, and it won't look like what other parents' why might be, because we all come from different walks of life and we all have our own experiences. And there are things you've learned from your own experiences that you would want your kids to know, but you might not have the time to give them that. And that's the advantage homeschool gives. It gives you time to still pass on that knowledge. So whatever your why is, don't lose that. Thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.